Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Medha Vardhini. Today we are with another one new concept, respiration. So as we are going to discuss the respiration, there are two types of respiration. Mainly there are two types. The one is aerobic respiration, another one is anaerobic respiration. Now here in aerobic respiration, what is main important thing to remember? What is the meaning of aerobic? Just remember, aerobic respiration means with the help of oxygen we will breathe in, like humans we will breathe in oxygen and we will breathe out carbon dioxide. So such type of respirations are called as aerobic respiration. The main thing you have to remember, all living organisms, most probably all living organisms, they will respire using this respiration, which is aerobic respiration. Now in anaerobic respiration, you have to remember there are only few organisms which will breathe using, like without oxygen. What they will breathe? Without oxygen. In the absence of oxygen or without oxygen also they can breathe. So such a respiration is called as anaerobic respiration. So example for aerobic respiration: humans, plants, amoeba, bacteria, all these will use the oxygen. They will breathe in the oxygen and they will breathe out carbon dioxide. Anaerobic respiration mostly happens in yeast. I think you already know about the fermentation process, which is how it will tell that food is converted into alcohol. Now we will see how glucose will break down into energy. So first, as you can see here, the glucose, which is a 6 carbon molecule. How many molecules are there? 6 carbon molecules. Glucose formula C6H12O6. Now this glucose, it will break down in cytoplasm. So where the cytoplasm is present? Inside the cell we have the cytoplasm. It will broken down into pyruvate. Where it will break down? In cytoplasm, converted into pyruvate. What is pyruvate? This 6 carbon molecule is converted into 3 carbon molecule. Now after that, depends on the in which cell the pyruvate is present. If it is present in yeast, then different case. If it is present in our muscle cell, then different case. If it is present in our mitochondria, then different case. Now first we will see in yeast what will happen. So as we written here, absence of oxygen, as we already seen, it will do anaerobic respiration. So in yeast, in the absence of oxygen, what it produces? This pyruvate is converted into ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. Once again, pyruvate is converted in yeast cell as ethanol plus carbon dioxide is released plus energy is released. Now second we will say, which is aerobic respiration, which will happen in our normal regular cells. So in mitochondria they have written. Now again, where this mitochondria is present? Inside our cell. So which is already called as a factory of energy in our body, which is a mitochondria. Presence of oxygen means you will breathe in the oxygen, it will go inside your blood. That blood will reach the mitochondria and mitochondria will break down this pyruvate into now carbon dioxide, and water is released and energy is released. The main important product here is energy, along with that carbon dioxide and water is released. Now here another one case they have given in our muscle cells. So what is the meaning of this? If think that you are running for some distances like 1 kilometer, suddenly while running you will not feel any pain or something like that, but after running in that evening or a night, you will start to feel pain in your muscles. So what is that? It is a lack of oxygen. Lack of oxygen means, think that my body needs some 100 molecules of oxygen for normal regular work I am doing. While running, my body needs more oxygen molecules, but due to my breathing rates are not even and I am not able to supply the oxygen properly to my muscle cells, the carbon dioxide and H2 should produce, but what it will produce here? It produces lactic acid and energy to run for our legs, but again lactic acid is produced due to less oxygen. So due to this lactic acid, the cramps are produced in our muscle cells. So like this, there are 3 different ways how the glucose is broken down into different pathways to produce the energy. In this way we will get the energy for doing different work. For example, you can say if you are just sleeping and you are telling that you are not using energy, but for your breathing in, breathing out, your heart is beating continuously, your mind is thinking something. For all these works you need what? You need energy. So that's why if you are not breathing well, if you hold your breath for some time, you will start suffocating, because oxygen we want it to supply everywhere in our body. As you can see here, the diagram of our respiratory system. So this is our nasal passage and this is mouth cavity. You can see the common connection. That's why sometime if you drink the water by mouth you will drink, but it will come along with your nose. From the nose you will get that water back due to the common passage between both of them. So next is pharynx and next is larynx, trachea, rings of cartilage, and we have pair of lungs or two lungs. Then we have bronchi, which is divided. The trachea is divided as a bronchi. Then we have small branches along that. Bronchi are called bronchioles. Then we have alveolar sac. In this part it is called as diaphragm, which will separate your respiratory system from the digestive system. Then this is a part where they have given the most zoomed version of your lungs, which is alveoli, how the alveoli will look. Now we will discuss how air will enter through nasal passage, or sometime if you have a cold or something like that, you will respire through your nose also, mouth also. So both the openings are common. Now the air will enter your nasal passage and it will start to go inside your sound box, which is a pharynx and larynx. They will help you to produce the sound using the air. Next, after that we have a trachea. This is trachea. You can see the rings. So we have to, what they have mentioned here, rings of cartilage. So ring like structure to maintain a speed of the air. The rings are produced to maintain a uniform speed of the air inside your lungs. Once the air enter the trachea, the bronchi is divided into two parts. So there are two lungs I have given here. The bronchial part next again divided into bronchioles, which are small parts of or branches for the bronchia. On that again we have the alveolar sac. So what is meaning of alveolar sac? Alveolar sac, it is a where all the alveoli are present. So this is your respiratory branches and on that we have these alveoli. So what the function of alveoli? It will help. Inside alveoli we have the blood capillaries which are directly connected to blood and it will exchange the gases. For example, if you are breathing in, the oxygen will enter through this path and it will enter your lungs. Here at this part, the bloodstream will exchange the oxygen inside the blood and carbon dioxide outside the blood, which is again it will go in lungs, and that carbon dioxide again it will take, again it will go in the bronchioles, then bronchi, then trachea, larynx, pharynx, and again through nasal passage that air will be removed out from our body. So what are the functions here? Mainly nasal passage to take the air inside, pharynx and larynx related to sound, trachea, it is a pipe like structure which will help us to take the air to your both the lungs, and both the lungs have smaller, very small sac like structure, they are called alveoli. So what is the basic structure of a respiratory system? It's alveoli, you have to remember. In digestion the basic structure it is a villi, and in respiration the basic structure is a alveoli, which will help to exchange of the gases. Now on the lungs you have the ribs. You can see here why the ribs are there, because the lungs are made from the muscles and skin. There are more chances if you are fell down on your chest, there are more chances that lungs will get suppressed. So these ribs will help to protect those lungs from any type of damage or something. And this diaphragm, how it will help? When you will breathe in, your lungs will, they will take the air and they will swell into the like balloon like structure. When you will breathe out, again all air will go out from the body and this lungs shape will be changed. To maintain the body shape, we have that diaphragm which will help us to breathe properly. So this is how our respiratory system will work.